गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत न शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम् ॐ श्री महागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेदान्त विद्यास्थानेभ्यैव च सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ पुनर्जन्मनि सविलासमहामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणे Verse 50, page 23. विकल्पो निर्विकल्पस्य सविकल्पस्य वा भवेत्। आद्यो व्याहतिरन्यत्र अनवस्थात्माश्रयादयः इदं गुणक्रियाजाति द्रव्यसम्बन्धवस्तुषु समं तेन स्वरूपस्य सर्वमेतत् इतीश्यताम्। विकल्पतदभावाभ्याम् असंस्पृष्टात्मवस्तुनि विकल्पित्वलक्षत्व संबंधाद्यास्तु कल्पिताः। Again, विकल्प तद अभावाभ्याम असंस्पृष्टात्मवस्तुनि विकल्पितत्वलक्ष्यत्व संबंधाद्यास्तु कल्पिताः। संबंधाद्यास्तु कल्पिताः। We had seen that the 33rd to 48th verse was a portion of Shravanam, and now from 49th verse to 52nd verse is the portion of Mananam. What was said in Shravanam? In Shravanam it was mentioned. What is this? How much temperature is this? 22. In Shravanam, 20. It's okay. In Shravanam, if you remember, we had seen by Anvay and Vyatirek that the self is different than the gross body, subtle body and the causal body. And being different than these three bodies, self will not have any limitation of thought or time or body or space. And therefore that Atma is of the nature of Brahman. That you had seen it. I had already explained. I will like to move forward. Yesterday's class was little ticklish, which you may have revised or not, I don't know. Revised it. Acha. Then I will hear what you heard, what your reflection told you. There is something called, he is asking the question, Nyaya has come into picture. Nyaya has asked the question, tell me one thing. What do you want to say? You have known Brahman. Well, yes, I have known. Have you known by thought or without thought? Naturally, you have known by thought. So, if the Brahman is the Brahman Savikalp or Nirvikalp. Savikalp means with thoughts, with divisions. And Nirvikalp means without division or without thought. If you are able to catch, very good, otherwise leave it. We'll explain more later on, don't worry. So, if you say that Brahman is if you say Brahman is Savikalp, it is known by thought, then thought being associated with the Brahman will become finite like any other object of the world. Like I am knowing this flower by thought. So thought and the flower both unite to give the knowledge of the flower. That means the flower is incomplete and therefore it can be united by thought. So anything savikalp will be finite and it will be not real. If your Brahman is known by thought, then your Brahman will become finite and therefore false. If your Brahman is Nirvikalp, that means there is no part, then it cannot be known by thought because thoughts cannot associate with it. Thought cannot associate with Brahman because it is anyway without part. So how can it associate with thought? And therefore it cannot be known and therefore it doesn't exist. So both ways, Mr. Vedantin, you are in trouble. This way, Savikalp and Nirvikalp, both way you are in some kind of hot waters. You will be in trouble. I had taken this, I am just touching and moving. I am not going to explain because my time will go away. You can revise the class. And if time permits, again I will come to this verse in some other way, I will explain. Now, the teacher answers in 50th verse. He says, see, if, please get the point, I am knowing the Brahman. The process of knowing the Brahman is an attribute quality. And any attribute will be on substance, then only attribute can exist. Like yellow is an attribute. Yellow cloth, yellow house, yellow flower. ठीक है ना? Sweet tea, sweet milk, sweet person. So moment you say any attribute, it requires a substance to support it. Attribute doesn't live on its own. Like good, sweet, sour, tasty, intelligent is an attribute. Right? Similarly, knowing is an attribute. And naturally, supposing you say to somebody, I know, so that person will ask what you know. Because knowing is a guna. Knowing is an attribute, and therefore it requires a substance, and then only you can say that I know you well, or I know this subject well, or I know this place well, or I know this topic well. Then only it has a meaning, otherwise it is meaningless. Right? I'm going very slowly. I'm just brushing it, I'll move forward. Now, if the knowing is an attribute, and supposing Brahman is nirvikalp. Nirvikalp means something without any attribute. By its nature, it is nirvikalp. Nirvikalp means it does not have attribute, it doesn't have shape, it doesn't have any quality. If knowing is an attribute and it is associated with nirvikalp Brahman, then it is a contradiction. Because nirvikalp cannot be associated with anything else. Like the space is nirvikalp, space cannot be associated with anything else. Similarly, that Brahman also cannot be associated with anything else. So one possibility is ruled out, and that was called as vyahatihi. Vyahati means fault of contradiction. Fault of contradiction will be there. It is just like that. I mix the space with the water. It's a contradiction. That which has no part cannot be mixed. That which has no attribute by nature, you cannot change the nature of that which has. Or I made the chili sweet. You cannot make it sweet. Its bitterness, its chilliness will not go even if you put some sugar also. Some way that hot chili's nature will come even if you put some sugar. This is one point. Second point was, let us say it is with attribute. Supposing you see, the answer is given. An answer is given by pointing out the fallacy in the question. Answer is not given objectively, answer is given in a manner to tell that your question itself is not right. Like people say, why Bhagwan created the world? This is a false question. That means you are thinking Bhagwan had no work. Once in a blue moon he created a work. Created a world and I'm in trouble. It is his Leela and we are suffering here. I have a stomach ache. Because of his Leela, I have a stomach ache today. I ate some chickpeas yesterday night. And therefore, but why did you eat? How much you ate? Nothing. Whole tin I ate. One tin comes of the peas. I was so hungry in the night. It is boiled or not? That one. Yes. It is boiled. So you can consume like that, along with the bread or something. Or you can put salt and consume. Okay. So I ate the whole tin. That is your problem then? Bhagwan's Leela. So why Bhagwan created the world? That question is wrong question, because you are thinking there was a time there was no world. There was a time, but world was not there. And Bhagwan was there, world was not there, and Bhagwan created the world. And so what a fallacy is there. That means he had the material cost to create, then only he can create the world. That means how will he create Jiva? Or how will he create time and space? Bhagwan is here, he created something. To create something, You need material cause, you need some kind of instrumental cause, like the pot is creating the pot, he needs the mud, he needs the time and space. Therefore, to create anything, you need is time. So you are having a fallacious question that why did Bhagwan create the world? Let's answer later on why Bhagwan created, but first is to create the world, Bhagwan will need something other than himself, called some material cause, some instrumental cause, and absence of world but presence of time. So this itself is a big contradiction. Therefore, Bhagwan did not create the world. Why we'll see later on. Very common question, especially when people get frustrated. So they ask this question, why Bhagwan created the world? As if he created, I am suffering. Happy person will not ask this question. If you are very happy, supposing you get troubled in the ashram, then you ask, why I came in the ashram? When you are happy, then this question won't come. When you are frustrated because of somebody, then this question comes, why I came? Now, I am coming to this. Savikalp supposing is there. I am cutting it short. Please refer yesterday's class. And if you are not clear, one day again I can take this topic in more detail, which I am unlikely to do. Because time is... Well, this is a contradiction? No, I may. Acha, when... Supposing Brahman is Savikalp, right? Savikalp means there is a substance, and substance has an attribute already. Like this flower is there. It is Savikalp. It is a flower, it is chrysanthemum, this color is there, and it has a shape. So it is a flower. It is a Savikalp flower. Now supposing I know, dhyan deke sunna, supposing I know this flower, the knowingness is also an attribute of the flower. Right? It can be known. Now where the problem comes? Already it had an attribute. And this new attribute of knowingness, what you are now putting it, now where will this attribute be? This attribute will be on the already existing attribute. So this, supposing existing attribute is A1 and the knowing attribute is A2, that means A2 is based on A1. Because for attribute, you need another substance. Then you know the flower, right? Now the question was that even how can one attribute be the cause and other attribute be the effect? Because both are attribute. Wave cannot be the cause of wave. One thing cannot be the cause of same thing. Attribute cannot be the cause of attribute. And therefore, this dosh was called Atmashray dosh. If you remember, the fault of self-dependency. Atmashray dosh. Sanskrit condenses the whole thing. In English becomes very long otherwise. Atmashray dosh. Please do not forget it. Do not forget it. It's an important point. So anything, please note, anything finite will have Atmashray dosh. Anything finite, yes. Why? I'm telling you. Supposing this is a flower, and you say this flower is having this blue color or pink color. So you have superimposed this attribute on Panchamahabhut actually. Look, Panchamahabhut had one attribute, and you superimpose another attribute on the attribute. So attribute cannot be the cause of attribute. This is called Atmashray dosh. And therefore, this attribute of knowingness is not possible on Savikal Brahman. And therefore, this will be fallacious. Then say, okay, let's do one thing. Let us remove the attribute. Let us remove A1. Remove the substance, and supposing substance is S and A1. My dear, substance is depending on the attribute. because it is finite, because you said it is cervical. And therefore substance is based on the attribute is based on the substance, so there is a cause and effect relationship. You cannot say you take out attribute and remove the attribute. You cannot remove the attribute. You cannot remove the whiteness of the milk with the milk. Liquid milk and whiteness, both are interdependent. Whiteness is dependent on the milk, milk is dependent on the whiteness. And therefore, this is called fault of mutual dependence. So you cannot ascertain that this alone is the truth. Similarly, third fault was fault of regress infinitum, anavastha. It goes beyond, because cause of this is this, cause of this is this. And Chakrikapatti, the cyclic fault was also there. Now, therefore what? You cannot know the Brahman if it is savikal. And you cannot know the Brahman which is nirvikal, live. Then how to know it? Wait. Both ways you are in trouble. I cannot know if it is savikal, I cannot know it is nirvikal. Then let us go home. Unnecessarily you are working here. Coming here, cutting in the morning, rushing with the breakfast, and coming here running, chanting Veda Sukh half-heartedly, or not chanting. Wait, don't rush to conclusion, wait. Then 51st verse came, which I saw. Idam guna kriya jati dravya sambandha vastushu. Please note, these are little important in the sense that people don't understand this and skip it. Panchadashi at times become ticklish. At times. Somewhere it is very simple. At times it just gives some googly. This is the style of Abhedananda Swami. He has his own style. So he says that any object is there. It has 7 things I told you. 5 are written here. Gun, kriya, jati, dravya, sambandh. Now, please note this point. Every object is like that. It has gun, kriya, jati, dravya, sambandh. Like this flower is there. It has some qualities there. Its function is there. Then it has a jati. It is called certain flower, it has certain species are there. Then it is a dravya, substance. And it has relation, it belongs to somebody. Now the point is, please be careful. If I say this flower is blue, quality of this flower is blue. So, is this guna, is this quality existing in the presence, in its absence or in its presence? The guna is existing where guna is not there or where guna is there. If it was nirguna, it will be existing where guna is not there, because it is no vikalpa. And if it is saguna, it is existing where it is already there. Then how can A exist on A? Got it? If something is savikal, already it is a quality. And I put another quality, blueness. So that blueness, new quality, is existing on the quality already. There is some quality. Even if flower was not there, there was some quality. How can quality exist in the quality? Well, when flower was not there, but it was called bud. Bud was also quality. Well, it was not the bud. It was a plant. That also was a quality. So, anything, any quality exists in quality only. How can quality exist in quality? How can A, already A was there and new thing came. New thing is also quality. How can it exist on A? How can A exist on A? Clear? Something, if anything is finite, it will always have a quality. On the other hand, it acquired, supposing, a new quality. It acquired a new quality. Now already it had a quality. A new quality is existing on that old quality. A quality can't exist in the quality. Good can't exist in good. It is already there. A cannot come on A. A was already there, and therefore new quality cannot come. Lo. And similarly, it will be with Kriya. Please explain more. One more example I'll give, and after that I'll move ahead. If you don't understand, please chant Medasu. So, well, what is this? I'm feeling so sleepy. Supposing husband is there. Huh? So husband is a quality on a man. Or say forget husband, let us make a man. Man itself is a quality on Panch Mahabhut. ठीक? Man is a quality on Panch Mahabhut. Now he married and he became a husband. Now new quality came husband. Husband is existing where? On the man. But man itself is a quality. So how can quality be the base of quality? Quality cannot be based on quality. Man also is a quality. Husband also is a quality. Quality cannot be based on quality. Something cannot be based on itself. Like I cannot sit on my lap. Therefore, Kriya cannot exist in Akriya and Kriya cannot exist in Kriya. Similar argument will go in all. But Swamiji, that was another quality. This is another quality. Doesn't mind. But quality is there. I am taking the quality only. It doesn't matter which other quality is there. Unki jaat ek hi hai. And therefore, every savikalp thing will be dash. Huh? False. Because existence is not proved. Because you cannot prove that. Tena sarvam etat ishyatam sarupasya. It is false. Now let's go to the 52nd verse. Please open 52nd verse, page 25. And in the mission book, 100? 102. Now please be careful about this. This is concluding this point. What it says, Vikalpa tad abhavabhyam asamsprishtatma vastuni. Please be. Bole, acha, now he asked this question. The Purpaksh or Nyaya asked a question. He said, okay, you refuted me very well. As if I am totally wrong. Now you tell me, you also have knowledge or not? Well, yes, we have knowledge. Well, is it not a thought knowledge? Well, yes, it is a thought knowledge. He said, but when you have a thought knowledge, so that thought knowledge, is it not that thought knowledge also is a quality? Well, it is there. How do you know the Brahman then? How do you know the Brahman? Because this thought knowledge also is a quality and Brahman also is a substance. How do you know the Brahman without the knowledge? Because the Brahman will be either savikalp or vikalp. There is only two options and you ruled out both options. Then how do you know it? Got my point? Nirvikalp, you cannot associate. Savikalp, you refuted by Atma Ashraya Dosh and Anyonya Ashraya Dosh. Then how do you know Brahman? Because it's an object. He said, well, that is your problem. Your problem is you are very substance oriented. And therefore you are suffering. Acha, I am suffering, of course. Please get this point. It is said here, because any substance is associated with quality. Brahman is not a substance. Can you explain? Of course, I'll explain. Give me time. Keep quiet while I'm talking. Let me complete. Then you ask the question. But I feel like asking when you are talking. Therefore, I ask so that I don't forget. Because by the time I listen, I forget. Swami Abhedananda, when he went to America, They used to take lectures on shorthand. Recording was not there, so shorthand they used to write. So some of the shorthand I was reading, they wrote, sometimes Swamiji talked so well and he was so acting that we forgot to write. So then we have to fill in the gaps after the talk, that what, because he was acting or he was very good speaker, so we are carried away by that. So what is written here? Please see. Please be attentive. There is something called object. There is something called object. Like this is an object. Okay? Okay. So object is there. And there is something called absence of object. Very good. Like this watch is there. Maybe if it goes bad, this watch will be absent. Or one person was there, he is no more now. Or this book was there, is no more now. So there is something called object and there is something called objective absence. Very good. Object and objective absence. Object is there and objective absence is there. Can object and objective absence coexist? No. This object called watch is there and it cannot be absent while it is seen. Simple thing is there. You cannot be absent when you are sitting here. Object and objective absence cannot be there. Very good. At the same time, it can be absent at some other time and at some other place. You are here, you are absent in your room. You are present in your room, you are absent here. You can be absent-minded, but you are here and there is something called objective absence. But there is something called subjective absence. Subjective absence and the presence of object is not opposite. Object can be present in the subject, absent in the subject is still present outside. Well, I did not understand. I did not understand. Because it's a different level of reality. Two things in the different level of reality can have opposite nature. Like you are sleeping in a pitch dark room. Some people like to have pitch dark room. Dark room especially. If not pitch dark, at least dark, like I will. I'll prefer to put off the light and I want a darker room. Otherwise, your sleep will be disturbed. Some people always prefer light. They are so scared. I don't know about you. Some of you are putting on. Some want night lamp. You put on light lamp? No. So, some people prefer light. I don't know why they are scared or what is there. You also prefer light? Natural light. But your curtains are all closed. Open. The daytime it is closed? It's a moonlight. Okay. But daytime it is closed. Open. I didn't see. Okay, then we can disturb you. So, supposing you are sleeping in the dark room and it is total dark and you are having a dream. Dream is broad daylight. So you are having the light because two levels of realities are there and therefore they can coexist. One is false and one is true. So what is false can express itself and what is true is not contradicting the false. Like the desert has mirage water. So mirage water is not contradicting the totally dry desert. Similarly, the object and the absence of the object is not contradicted by the absence of the object or the presence of the object in the light of consciousness through which this object and the absence of the object are seen. Will you please say in slow motion and make a small sentence? I get very confused. I'm not that sharp actually. I understand very slowly. I understand very slowly and steadily. I'm not that sharp and fast and intelligent thinker. Acha? Yes. Please explain in layman's language. Otherwise I'll lay down in the room. So, see, in the dream, supposing, in the dream consciousness is there. There is something called dream seer. Not dreamer. Dream seer. Dream seer is seeing that somebody is playing football. And that person went away. And nobody is there. Empty field is empty. Everybody has gone. The football match is over and everybody has left. And therefore football match is over and only field is there. And the goals are there. Dream seer will illuminate the field also, and absence of the player and presence of the player also. In the dream seer, there is an absolute absence of the presence or the absence of the football or any object or any shape. Any shape or the absence of shape totally is absent in the light of consciousness. Light of consciousness is not the one which is associated with the presence of some shape or the absence of the shape. It is just an illuminator. I hope this point is very, very clear. So this is what I said. Object and the objective absence, both are absent in the subject. And there is a subject, there is absence of the object and the objective absence in the subject. And that subject is consciousness. I hope point is clear. But these presence and absence are seen on that consciousness only. The absence, the presence of the footballer, let us call him footballer, and the absence of the footballer, both are on the consciousness only in the dream. Both were seen not by the dream seer, but in the dream seer. And how do you know something is mithya or false? Swa abhav adhishthan bhas, adhisthane bhas manatvam mithyatvam. Something seen where it is not there is called mithya or false. Like what? Like the snake on the rope, where not at all rope was there in 3 times. There I see the rope, therefore snake is false. Sorry, I see the snake, therefore snake is false. I see the blueness of the sky. There is no blueness. You can go with the flight and get some paint. You will not have a pinch of paint also, a drop of paint also. Even if you search from any amount of traveling sorties you can take by the aircraft, you will not get a little point, 1 drop of paint also on the top. It is seen where it is not there. So swa abhav adhisthane bhasmanatvam mithyatvam. Something seen where it is not there, that is called false or mithya. If the footballer was in the dream, was seen on the dream seer, and in the absence of there, if it was really there, it won't go away. But it disappeared, that means it was not there. I hope you are understanding. I take this flower, and there is a thought of flower born. I am seeing on my consciousness the shape of flower has come. If really there was a shape of flower, it won't go. But I dropped it and I took this paperweight. And the same place, on the consciousness, the shape of paperweight came. Again I forgot about it. Like you have one shape, you can't take another shape because you already have one shape. If the consciousness had shape, it won't take another shape. And therefore, all the experiences are nothing but they are false on the consciousness only. I hope you are following me. So what was my mistake, Mr. Teacher? I asked. He said, your mistake was very big. Okay, all my mistakes are big. I am only bad person here. No, you are not bad. You are very good, don't worry. Your mistake was you thought it as an object. You are a substance-oriented person. And therefore your problem started. Then what about the knowledge of the self? Knowledge of the Brahman? I am telling you. Wait. If you want to have weight in your thinking, learn to wait. What is there? Please get my point. Brahman is there. We are not touching the Brahman at all. By the thought of knowledge, you are removing thought of ignorance. You are not at all touching the Brahman. Therefore, Brahman, it is nirvikalp, you cannot touch, and sarvikalp also you cannot touch. So it is not that by knowledge you are having a knowledge of Brahman. No, Brahman is not a known object like a flower. You are removing ignorance. Brahman is self-revealed. You need not know the Brahman as an object. Now, 52nd verse, please check what I have said. Vikalpa tad abhavabhyam asamsprishta atmavastuni. Atmavastuni. In the Atma, vikalp. Vikalp means the object or the thought. And the absence of that Atma is untouched, asamsprisht, untouched, untainted, uncontaminated. It is uncontaminated by the knowledge of the self. Not that I had knowledge of the Brahman, therefore Brahman is today shining. Brahman was shining even when you had no knowledge. Even when you had no knowledge, Brahman was shining. Lo, Brahman is still shining. Yes, whether I know or not, yes. Then why should I know? So that you should know that you were not ignorant. Moksha is to know that you were never limited and bound. Moksha is not attained. Moksha is not the name of attainment. Moksha is the name of some removal of misunderstanding. I misunderstood that you are a bad person. You are not a bad person. I remove my misunderstanding. By removing my misunderstanding, you did not become a good person. Even when I did not understand you are a good person, still you are a good person. It is my misunderstanding that I thought you are not a good person. So moksha is not that I understood Brahman. No, what misunderstanding, the removal of the misunderstanding that I am not infinite is moksha. Not that I got moksha. Because what you get will lose it. बोले कल मोक्ष मिला था आज चला गया. कल तक मोक्ष था अच्छा खासा. Till yesterday 12 o'clock in the morning, moksha was there. Moment load shedding started. मोक्ष चला गया, light चली गई. Today thrice load shedding is there. I saw what you had sent. 2 to 4, then 6 to 8. 6 to 8, then 10 to 12. Okay, later on you see that. Three times. Stage 5. I thought it has subsided. Again it has come back. Some time goes. Here we don't know, but if you don't have electricity. I hope this point is very, very clear to you. And that problem is sorted out. What he was asking about Nirvikalp and Savikalp. You are not touching Brahman at all. You are touching the ignorance. You are removing ignorance. You cannot touch Brahman. How can thought touch that which is infinite? How can it touch it? Okay, I understood. Next line. Not next slok, next line. Vikalpitatva lakshatva sambandhadyaha tu kalpitaha. Vikalpitatva. See the word vikalpitatva. That means any attribute that you see, quality you see, thought you see, or lakshatva. Like you say, lakshyarth is there. Tatpad lakshyarth is there. Indicative meaning. Direct meaning. Indicative meaning of tat is consciousness. Indicative meaning of tvam is the consciousness. That is called lakshyatva. Then sambandhadyaha. Sambandh is there. Sambandh is there? Yes. What sambandh is there? God created. Sambandh of God with the world. God manifested the world. God gives the fruit of action. Sambandh with me, jeev and the fruit of action. Sambandh with the karma is there. All these are kalpitaha. All these are false, imagined. Why? Because only consciousness is there. Only self is there. And in the self, there is no time, space. There is nothing other than itself. So how can there be relation in the self? How can it be indicated? These are all the ways to come to the point. Really speaking, in reality, they don't exist. It's a procedure. Very nice word is there for the operation. Nice word is there. I'm going for a procedure. I like this word procedure more than operation. Tell me why. Because many of the operations you don't add. Most of the operations you remove something. 80-90% operation. The procedure you scrap something out. You remove something out. I had a malignancy was there. So doctor had scrapped that malignancy. That procedure was successful. Very few are there, you add certain things. Like the pacemaker you add, or a certain things you may add. Stent you add. You take that. And from here it goes, you have stent. Here it goes, and it goes to the heart, and it blows up. So where there is a blockage, there it goes, and it blows like that. So it opens the blockage, or other bypass comes out. That's called procedure. I hope you are clear. So all these things are kalpita. Most important word is kalpita. Kalpita means they are seen where they are not. You write it, this definition of Mithya swa abhav adhisthane bhasmanatvam mithyatvam. Definition of mithya is swa abhav adhisthane bhasmanatvam. Seeing something, perception of something in its absence. That is called mithyatvam. There is no whole part, there is no cause effect. There is no cause effect in that consciousness. There is no part whole in the consciousness. There is no relation in the consciousness. It's just an illumination. Because all these things require space and time. And consciousness is not in space and time. If consciousness was in space and time, you won't be seeing the dream and deep sleep. Because the waking is time and space, it leaves and goes to dream time. And the deep sleep, the dream time and space is left. That means it is not a part of consciousness. And in samadhi, it leaves all time and space. And therefore, by Anvay Vyatirik, you saw earlier that consciousness is not associated at all with any time and space. And all these vikalp, their absence, the lakshatva, or the, what is it called, sambandh, all this is in a relative realm. And please note, relative realm is not opposed to absolute. Even ignorance is not opposed to absolute. Knowledge of absolute is opposed to ignorance. Knowledge of Brahman is opposed to ignorance. But Brahman per se has no opposition to ignorance, rather it supports it. But wherever thought comes, there the thought knowledge that I am Brahman, this will oppose that I am finite Jeev. But Brahman which just illuminates, it has no opposition with ignorance also. किसी से झगड़ा नहीं उसका कुछ. Because it is an illuminator. I hope this particular verse is very clear to you all. You can just go and revise in your room. If you don't get each word, at least get the gist of what was said. If you are not clear in Sanskrit, you will not get the Anvay. But at least you can see the translation. Let me see 53rd verse. And this has completed the Manan part. Okay. Itham vakyaisthadarthanu. Again, I'll break. I should not break. Itham vakyaitadartha anusandhanam shravan bhavet yuktya sambhavitatva anusandhanam mananantu tat. So what is Shravanam? Shravanam is not listening. Listening is not the translation of Shravan in Vedantic import. Always know which word has come where. Same word at different differences will have different meanings. And therefore don't pick up one shloka and say, see, it is written in Ramayana. Which reference Ramayana is talking? What was the context? This is how the newspaper people pick up. Bhagwan said like this. In which reference it was said? Swamiji said like that. Which reference Swamiji said what? Who was there? What was the person? Which person who was talking? What topic came up? There are many things will decide a particular sentence. You cannot per se pick up something and make a statement. I hope. So now Shravanam doesn't have, it has a contextual meaning. Every word has a contextual meaning. Like man. A man is a contextual meaning. Man also has a physical man is there. Or always say, act like a man. It's a contextual meaning. Act like a man means act bravely and act decently. And Gurudev used to joke that Indira Gandhi was the only man in her womanish cabinet. So that had another meaning. She was the only man in her womanish cabinet. So their man had another meaning. So Shravana, general means listening, if you see the dictionary. But here, this is not the meaning. Please see the word. Shravanam bhavet, this is called. What is Shravanam? Anusandhanam, tad arth anusandhanam. You are understanding, meditating, contemplating, understanding. Understanding what? Arth, meaning. Meaning of what? By the great statement. Vakyehi. Vakya means Mahavakya. Tattvamasi. Vakya means how Jiva is Brahman. So understanding by the statement, Itham. Itham means in this manner. Which manner? Anvaya Vyatirik manner. Understanding of the oneness of Jiva with the Brahman in this manner of Avasthatraya is called Shravanam. Is called Shravanam. I'm repeating it. Understanding, you go to the teacher. So you don't know what to understand also. You just go for the peace of mind. You want to be free from all sorrows. So first a person is mumukshu, then he becomes jigyasu. So he doesn't know what is Upanishad. He just, preacher, I don't know. Just keep me quiet. I don't want quietness of mind. I want to be free from all sorrows. This is the only thing he knows. He doesn't know Tattva Bodh, Atma Bodh, Vivek Chudamani. He doesn't know. None of the books we know. So then teacher introduces you what is moksha, what is sadhan, what is antakaran shuddhi, what is the meaning of Atma, what is Brahman, what is the meaning of karma. Slowly he introduces these words to me. And after introducing these words, he elaborates on the meaning of each of them. And after that, in advanced stage, he tells that you are not a jeev, you are not a body with the soul, you are the soul with incidental appearance of body on it. You are the all-infinite Brahman. 20-30 years I covered in 1 minute. So he covers that. So anusandhanam vakyayi. Itham is very important. In this manner, anvaya vyatirik manner. That is called shravanam. Then what is mananam? Mananam is what? Again see the sambhavitasya. Sambhavitatva. Sambhavit means to arrive at the conviction. Acha? How? By yuktya, by logical reasoning. You have some wrong notions. So, Shravana of the teacher, you try to see your experiences, how my experiences and the teacher's statement, how teacher's statement is working and what are the fallacies I have. And you remove the fallacies of your conviction by understanding from your angle. Personification you did. That is called yuktya. Anusandhanam. Anusandhanam is contemplation. Continuous contemplation. Continuous contemplation of the conviction by because when you hear a lot of false logics are there. We have a lot of false logic hidden in our mind. And why logic is required? Because right logic removes the false logic. Somebody was there, he was about to eat, he said, go and wash your hand. He said, Arey, lion doesn't wash the hand. So they just put anything. Lion doesn't put on cloth. Lion doesn't eat the cooked food. Lion doesn't live in the room. You, just because to support your laziness, you put on some logic here and there. And then you unnecessarily blow trumpet. That is wrong thing. Huh? And they're very happy to give such statements like that. That is wrong way. So you use the right logic to allow the teacher's word to sink in me. Because it doesn't go directly unless I take a right logic for me. It's just like that. You have a small bottle and you have a bucket full of oil or a ghee, and the bottle's mouth is like this. Of the bucket full of oil or ghee, you cannot put directly in the small bottle. Then you use a funnel. So in the big funnel, it will take all the oil without dropping it, spilling it here and there. So logic is like a funnel. The Shravan, big statements are there. In myself, wrong logics are sitting. I use the right logic to internalize it and to know this alone is true, other than that is false. Not to refute anybody, but to ascertain what is right. I hope this is clear. So this is 53rd verse. From 54th verse onwards, the topic of Nididhyasan will start for 9 verses that we will see tomorrow onwards. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namah. Hari Om.